So my mom is an amazing lady, and even though most of my childhood memories I feel like were with my dad, felt really close to him. We'd hang out a lot, and he'd take me to work on Saturdays and things like that. But she was definitely the gentler parent when it came to telling her things or when I was in trouble, but she was more heavy-handed on like having sleepovers at friends' house or going places, so I'd actually call him instead, and usually because he was at work, so he'd be like, yeah, whatever, just go, and so that was better. But when it came to punishments, I would definitely go to her instead because, yeah, he would make me remember that. But you know, I have a lot of good memories with both parents. My dad was really an amazing man, and I hope to carry a lot of the lessons that he taught me, both directly and indirectly. You know, just him actually telling me to do things or not do things, and then also just me watching him. You know, at the time I didn't think about it, but now looking back, I can definitely see just the way he treated us and the reasoning behind it, and not just because, you know, at the time him trying to not let us have fun or things like that. There's a lot of reasons, and it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy too because I never really realized, but it was when I was turning 18 that year he had turned 63, and I did the math and I was like, so you had me when you were 45? And he was like, yeah. And I was the last sibling, of course, but still a newborn at 45. That's pretty crazy. And so he had like this whole other life basically before us, and it was really interesting to learn all that. What he went through, he started to tell me slowly as I got older, and you know, give me even more lessons from those and like his mistakes. And so now I, you know, of course, treasure those conversations that we had, you know, and especially with these big moments, you know, like this wedding, whenever I would get a new job or a new place, or, you know, like buying my truck, or, you know, big life events that he'll never see. But, you know, I hope that he would be proud for the most part of what I've done and what I'm planning to do. And I know that my mom is, you know, for the most part, even though, you know, we kind of have our own lives now and we're all out of the nest except Jose. He's still at home. You know, we're all doing our own things, but, you know, she's always constantly checking and calling, or at least a text, you know, every now and again, just to make sure that we're okay. And I've really seen that a lot more since my father passed away. And it's been strange, but it's like seeing her in a new light, and you know, her care for us. I think it's only increased because now she's almost been like both parents, you know, being the heavy and the soft hand. But she's never stopped, you know, caring about us. It's still nurturing, and I've only had to go back once, back home. It was for a short time, but, you know, she didn't judge me for it. She didn't, you know, get mad or anything. She was just like, you know, sure, mijo, you know, whatever you need. And that's just how she is. You know, she'll open up and won't really question it, you know. And that's I value that a lot about her, one of her qualities. 'Cause she's like that with everybody, you know. She does the Operation Christmas Child thing where she sends gifts across the world, and even at her church, you know, teaching kids again. It's like her deal is to just teach and help and encourage, you know, especially those little kids growing up. And so definitely with us as kids, she was always that positive, you know, influence. And you know, she'll always be a special lady in my life, and I know she's a huge supporter of me and Samantha, and you know, she's really been very warm and always, asking questions, but like in a good way, to make us think about things that maybe we haven't, or just being like, well, hey, what are you doing about this? And always just wanting to, same thing, check up on her as well. And so I know that she'll be a big supporter throughout our marriage, and always praying and all that good stuff. So yeah, I very much value her, and I know Samantha does too. So that's all I have. Don't want to take up any more time other than to ask the real Gabe to walk up now and say what you need to say to your mom.